everyone, it's Mrs. Gonzalez.
And Mrs. MacPhail.
Here's today's objective. Use partial products to multiply two-digit numbers.
All right, friends, here's our problem. 42 times 53. Our first step is going to be to break the problem into place value parts. Now we're going to be doing a lot of crisscrossing here, and so I've gone ahead and I've broke my numbers, my digits here, into what they're comprised of already. So for example, 53, I broke into 50 plus 3, and 42 I broke into 40 plus 2. So I'm going to go ahead and take my 50 here because what we're going to be doing is some crisscrossing, and you'll see what I mean as soon as we get started with it. It's kind of hard to explain in the meantime. I am going to go ahead and do 50 times 40. That's going to be my first one. So under the line down here, I am going to write 50 40s, or 50 groups of 40s, which I know from basic facts, 5 times 4 is equal to 20. I have a tens here, a tens here. 10 times 10 is equal to 100. So my answer becomes 200.
You need one more zero because the 5 times 4 was 20.
Just
You want the
kidding.
hundreds on after that.
2,000. Just making sure you're paying attention.
All right, I was.
All right, good. Okay, that's my first part. I'm not done though because I have several other multiplications yet I have to do. I'm going to go back over here, and this time I'm going to go 50 times 2. Go back down below.
Oh, I know the answer. I know the answer.
Do you? What's the
I do.
answer?
2 50s is 100, Mrs. MacPhail.
Good job. Watch how I write my number. Make sure I line my 1 under the hundreds place, and then my zeros go in the tens and ones place as well. Okay, still not done. Ready for some more crisscrossing?
Ready.
I'm done with the 50 because I multiplied the 50 from 4 to 40, and I multiplied the 50 with 2. I have my 3 hanging out on the side over here yet. So now I have to go, this is where I call it crisscrossing, and we have to multiply 3 times 40. So I'm going to go down here and do 3 groups of 40s.
Wow.
That's a lot. But we know our basic facts. And so 3 times 4 is 12. And then I also have a lingering group of 10s in there, so I know my answer is going to be 120. Make sure I line everything up again too.
Looks good.
Still not done though, Mrs. G, because I have one more to do yet. I have to get my 3 multiplied with my 6.
With your 6? You
With
mean your
my
3?
2.
I think you gave the answer away.
I did. I was just so enthused that my little drawing over here made a cool little X.
It does make a cool little X.
So we're going to do 3 times 2, or 3 groups of 2s.
That must be where that 6 came from, you mentioned.
That's totally where that 6 came from. All right, so we have multiplied our place values, and now we're going to head and add the parts back together. Okay, I tried to keep everything nice and neatly lined up here. So once again, we're going to start with our biggest place value. In this case, we have thousands that we're working with. So I don't have any other thousands. I just have one group of 2,000s, so I'm going to bring that down. Let's look at our hundreds. I have one 100, and then I have another 100. So 100 plus 100 is going to give me 200. Moving on to the tens. No tens, no tens, 2 tens, and no tens, so I'm ending up with 2 tens or 20. And finally, in my ones place, I just have the 6 ones, so I'm going to bring my 6 ones down. Add all of that together. That's going to be a 6 in the ones place, a 2 in the tens place, a 2 in the hundreds place, and a 2 in the thousands place. And my answer of 42 times 53 turns out to be a whopping 2,226. All right?
Sounds good.
Let's try another one.
Ooh, do I get to do this one?
Come on over.
All right.
Do, 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 do,
Is that Jeopardy music?
do, do, you bet. Do, 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 do. Go.
All right. Okay, here we go. My turn. This time I have 12 times 87. I'm going to do what Mrs. MacPhail did and write the numbers off to the side. 87 is really made up of 80 plus 7. And 12 is really made up of 10 plus 2. And now I'm actually going to use the numbers over here as I multiply this time. We could do like Mrs. McPhail did and do 80 times 10 and use the numbers off to the side. But I also want to show you it's the same thing as looking at it this way. This is 80 times 10, same thing. So I have 80 tens and 80 tens makes 800. Next one. Now I have to do 80 times the 2. This is 2 because it's in the ones place, and this is 80 because it's 8 tens. So I have 80 twos. And 80 twos is 160. Now I'm done with the 8. I've taken this 8 and I multiplied it times the, not 8, I have to be careful here. This is 80, 8 tens. I've taken this 80 and multiplied it times 10, and I've taken this 80 and multiplied it times 2. I'm done with this now. Now I'm going to move over to the 7. This is 7 because it's in the ones place, and I need to take the 7 times 10, and then the 7 times 2. We'll start by doing 7 times 10. So this would be 7 tens. That gives me 70, and 7 twos. 7 times 2. That's a nice basic fact. That's 14.
14.
Now comes the part where I get to add the parts back together. Okay, I'm going to start with my biggest place value over here in the hundreds. This is 800 plus 100 would be 900. Now I'm going to move to my tens. Wow, look at all these tens I have, Mrs. McPhail.
Wow, you have a lot there.
I have a lot of tens. 70 plus 60. Need a minute to think about that.
130. Ooh, you're going to have to add something onto that hundreds place, even though you already wrote the 900 down below.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, let's see what Mrs. McPhail is talking about. So 70 and 60 is 130. And then we have to add 10 more, so that would be 140. So even though I'm in the tens column, I got an answer that's into the hundreds. So I need to start writing over here, 140. Okay, now we're going to move to the ones. Oh, nice, 0, 0, 0, and 4. There we go. Add the parts. Okay, 0, 0, 4 is 4. 0 and 4 here is 4. And 9 and 1 is 10. So my answer is 1,044.
Cool beans, that was kind of tricky.
It was tricky, but we got it. We got it done and we got it solved. And sometimes in math, tricky stretches your brain, and that's a really good thing.
My brain was definitely stretched there.
Do you want to do the next one?
Let's go ahead and finish it up.
Okay. Da 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 da. Transition.
That was a good song. I actually really liked that song.
Oh, thank you. I just made it up.
All right, friends, here we go. 24 times 16. I'm going to go back to my way, although Mrs. G's way was totally awesome. So whatever you're comfortable with here. So 24, 20 plus 4, and 16 is just like saying 10 plus 6. Let's go ahead and solve this. First step is we're going to break that problem into place value parts. So we're going to do 10 times 20. Just like over here, we could say 10 times 20. Or 10 groups of 20s. And I know that that is equal to 200. Alright, so I went 10 times 20. The next thing we're going to do is 10 times 4, or 10 groups of 4, which is equal to 40. Alright. Now we're done with the 10, we're going to work with the 6. We are going to do 6 times 20, just like we could do over here, 6 times 20, or 6 groups of 20s. I know that that's equal to 120. And finally, we're going to do 6 times 4. Just like if we were over here, we could do 6 times 4. So we have 6 4s. Basic fact, Mrs. G, what is that?
10. No, that's not right. That would be adding. We're multiplying.
That's okay.
Okay, 6 times 4. That's 24.
Good job. All right. So we have everything broken down now. We've multiplied our place values. Let's add those parts back together. We're going to start with our biggest place value again, which here we have hundreds. So I have a set of 2 hundreds plus 1 hundreds, which would be 300. Let's go to our tens place. I have 4 tens plus 2 tens, which is 6 tens, plus another 2 tens, which would be 80, or 8 tens. And finally our ones place. 0, 0, 0, and 4. Now we're going to add all of these together to get our final answer. 0 plus 0 plus 4 is 4 ones. 0 tens plus 8 tens is just 8 tens. And finally we have 3 hundreds. So our answer to 24 times 16 is going to be 384. Whew! That was a lot of work, but fun.
Good, good. Math is very fun.
Very fun.
All right, well, I think that's it for today.
Cool beans. See you later.
Bye.